Is it possible to have a true rags to riches story? I'm going to tell you about my own journey of running a 7-figure business and what you should expect that no one else is willing to share. You see, for the last 13 years, I've owned and operated a 7-figure business. And let me just tell you, it's not been easy. Everything that you see online where everybody's talking about, I'm going to show you how to make $10,000 a day, I'm going to show you how to make $100,000 a month, and I'm going to show you how to make $1 million a year, and your life is going to be perfect. I've got news for you. They're hiding something. My goal in this video is to show you exactly what they're hiding and to expose the deep, dark secrets that you need to know before you grow a business that explodes, before you have more money coming in your doors than you know what to do with, and before you possibly take a deep, dark path. You might not know me. My name is Jennifer Waters, and I started my journey as a child learning martial arts from my father. You see, back in the day, our martial arts school was a very small school. My dad was running a full-time construction job. He just had a desire and a dream to fulfill, which was to own and operate a martial arts school where we taught martial arts. Now, he opened that first school in 1982 in Augusta, Georgia. I eventually was growing up inside the school learning martial arts, and at 18 years old, decided that I really wanted to fulfill this lifelong dream as well. I wanted to run a full-time school. And just to be clear, my goal in the beginning wasn't to run a 7-figure business. My only goal was to have a good income for myself and for my parents. And so when it comes down to thinking about what is it going to take to do that, for me, it was really simple. Just do what it took to earn $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month so that we could pay our bills and then there would be money left over. But what I didn't realize is that once that machine actually got started, once we started climbing, once we started fulfilling the demand that we had and having extra demand, it was going to take nearly everything to be able to operate at a 7-figure level. You see, I found that I needed to learn a completely new set of skills. I had to learn more about marketing. I had to learn about how to actually sell, not just sell something that was cheap, but to sell something that was extremely valuable and life-changing. I had to learn how to retain my customers, my students inside of our school to keep them from just starting and then 6 months later falling off. And on top of that, I had to learn how to actually build a leadership team, people that wanted to follow me and to follow in my footsteps so that once it got past me and my mom and my dad, there were more people there that were willing to help us on this journey to grow this amazing school. And what I didn't realize is that it was going to take every piece of me to realize that dream. I had to sacrifice. I remember in the beginning thinking to myself that I was going to be able to do what I wanted to do, run the business full time, and only have to work 3 or 4 days a week. And the thing that I came to realize is that in the beginning, when you're growing something, you got to put all your time and energy into it. And all of the influencers who are trying to tell you that you can work 3 or 4 hours a day and that you're going to be able to make extraordinary amounts of money, especially in a brick and mortar or in real life type of business, they're wrong. You're not going to be able to do it. The reality is it's going to take you waking up early. It's going to take you putting in time and energy and effort. And that's the reason why the vast majority of people won't do it. If owning and operating $1 million business was easy, more people would have $1 million business. It's not easy. And that's why it takes what we call Tetsu Shin. Tetsu Shin is actually a Japanese way of saying iron spirit. It means someone that's unbreakable. It means someone that's going to be pushed to their last degree but still be able to push past it. It means that when you're in business and it's late at night and you've just got one more task that you've got to get done before you wrap up the day, you don't think to yourself, oh, I'll just do that tomorrow. You go ahead and you get it done. So for everybody that's out there telling you that this is going to be easy, it's not. My encouragement to you would be, if you think it's going to be easy, you should just quit and take a job. But if you want to be a business owner, if you want to get the reward, if you want to sit on the other side of this and buy the house that you want to live in, buy the vehicles that you want to drive, live the life of freedom that you truly desire, you've got to be willing to do what the vast majority of people in this world simply aren't willing to do. And if that's you, then you can reap the rewards of it as well. Another thing that I keep seeing out there in the influencer world is that if you're making $1 million a year, you must be a millionaire. And let me tell tell you that is very far from the truth. The reality of this is, if you're making $1 million a year in a business, you've got expenses that you've got to cover. You've got a brick and mortar facility, so you're going to have to cover rent, you're going to have to cover utilities, you're going to have to cover being able to provide for team members, because if you're running $1 million business, most of the time it's not just going to be you. It's going to be you and other team members so that you can scale. And then you've got to be able to reinvest back into the business. It's not going to be all profit. And sometimes those reinvestments are going to be in the form of people. Sometimes those reinvestments are going to be in the form of actual improvements to your facility. And sometimes those reinvestments are going to simply be taking some of that money and putting it away for a rainy day. The one thing that I've learned throughout this whole entire time, even through the worst of worst in 2020, when the whole world was shutting down, we were able to survive when so many other schools and academies literally were closing their doors for good. And the reason why we were able to do that is because we stayed on top of finding out where the money was, where the money was going, and what we needed to do in order to get through that dip. Most people will give up the first time they hit the first dip. They'll stop when it becomes hard to actually pay everybody, or they'll stop when they personally can't take a check. The reality of the situation is there's going to be moments in this journey of growing a profitable school or academy or profitable business in which you're not going to be able to take profit from the business every single time. Now, ultimately, the goal is to create a sustainable model, one in which there's profit all the time. But that's not going to happen in the beginning. And that certainly isn't going to happen when there's very crazy economic upheavals in the world, in which you could have never predicted. There's going to be moments in time where you have to think to yourself, I'm going to get through this, but it's going to take everything I've got. It's going to take every bit of resilience in order to do that. And again, if you're not willing to do that, you're not going to make it. If you're not willing to sacrifice, you're not going to be able to truly run a business that can essentially run itself without you being present. You've got to put in energy, you've got to put in effort, and you've got to realize that it's not always going to be rainbows and sunshine. It's going to be hard work. Another thing that I realized is that above all, running seven-figure business means that you're going to always be marketing and you're going to always be selling. There's never a moment that you'll stop doing either of those. And if you do, your business is going to decline. In order for your business to thrive, you have to have a solid marketing plan and you have to be really good at sales. And if you get to the point where you're running a seven-figure business that runs without you physically being present in it, someone else has to be doing the sales, which means you had to have figured out not only the marketing process that runs around the clock, but you had to have figured out the sales process as well. And someone else had to have been taught that sales process and can execute on it. This is where most people never get to because they haven't actually ironed out what their offer is, how they tell people about it, and how they convert them once they come in the doors. But if you can master those three things and you're really clear on what your offer is, you're really clear in your messaging to the community, and you're able to be clear in that sales process, you're going to create a sustainable amount of new business coming in your doors. Because the reality is you're going to lose people. People are going to quit using your services. They're going to quit being a student at your school or your academy. And if you're not willing to accept those losses and bring in new people, it's going to be very difficult for you to simply be able to exist as a business operating at seven figures. The lifeblood of your school is always going to be new students. You have to have new students in order for you to succeed. And to be honest, for you to be super successful as a seven-figure business owner, you've got to pour into a team. When it comes down to it, your team is either your greatest asset or it's your greatest liability. If you have team members right now that are not meeting the standard, if you walk in every single day and you sigh and you resent that person that's there, it's your fault. You have allowed this behavior. This behavior is now consuming not only your energy, but it's also diminishing the amount of activity that you could have to be able to generate more revenue because you're stuck thinking about that team member constantly. The team that you desire, the team that you need is going to be the team that literally you could leave installed inside of your business, go away for a week, come back, and nothing would have changed. The way that I like to think about it, because I'm a mom, is would I be okay leaving my son with this team member? Would I be okay putting my trust with leaving my son Beckett with the team member here? And if I feel like that's not true, that I can't do that, then I simply am questioning questioning whether or not that team member needs to be in that position of authority because I can't trust them with my own child. How am I going to trust them with my business? That's a simple way to look at it, but for me, it's always served me really well. And anytime I felt uncomfortable with someone being around my kid and actually being able to take care of my child, I started thinking to myself, there must be something there that's making me think this, that's making me feel like I can't trust this person. And there's probably something there that they're not doing that they should be doing as a team member. And so you've got to think to yourself, if I'm going to be successful, I've got to grow this team. I've got to grow as a leader. I can't remain the same that I am today, hoping that that's going to be enough to get me to my goals of tomorrow. If I want to be a steady 7-figure business owner, if I want to live stress-free, I've got to invest in my team. And that's going to take time. The easiest way to shorten the learning curve for any of these things is to have a mentor. The hardest thing to do is actually listen to what somebody else is telling you to do and to do it in your own business. At least I found it challenging at times to listen to what other people have said, to understand exactly how that applies to my business, and to then do it. But I can tell you that listening to mentors will help you shorten the learning curve. And listen, worst case scenario, the advice that's been given to you, you follow it and it doesn't work out exactly the way that you wanted to. It allowed you to grow, so the next time that this opportunity comes up, you now know what to do. That's why I look at team building, mentorship, the lessons of building a 7-figure business, and I don't look at them as success or failure. I look at them as a journey to get to where I want to be. But the reality of running a 7-figure business is that it's hard, and there's very few people that are willing to do it. But if you're willing to do it, if you're willing to sacrifice the time, the energy, and the effort to be one of the few to run a 7-figure business, you're also going to be one of the few that's going to reap the rewards. You're going to be able to enjoy time with your family. You're going to be able to do what you love. And you're going to be able to grow something that has the potential to be sellable or has the potential to grow into an even bigger business. But it's up to you. What are you willing to do, and what are you willing to sacrifice to achieve your dream?